Perfect. So we are so glad that you're joining us. This is being recorded, and we are teaching you how to do your addresses and how to organize your address book, import them, and then use them to direct ship your holiday cards. So Kim Etzel is on here with me, and she's going to show us exactly how to do that. So Kim, take it away.
Thanks, Helen. Hey, it's good to be with you guys as always. Helen and I are going to kind of partner with this. I'll do a little bit of the talking, but Helen, feel free to chime in if you see a better way or if I'm not clear with my instructions. But honestly, everyone, this address book is very, very powerful. I don't know if you have any addresses in there yet. I'm going to switch over to this other view for 1 second so I can see all of you guys, or maybe I can't. I was going to say raise your hand if you have gotten, or if you're using the address book, because it's just, it's very user-friendly once you get into it, unlike a lot of other users and programs and things where you are working with addresses. Even if you got your phones and your data there, it is wonderful if you can get it over here. It's great for personal satisfaction. It's great for your business. It's great for friends and customers and family. So I encourage you to consider this as a place that you also want to get your addresses. If you're looking at this page that Helen is showing right now, Helen, if you'll just run your mouse over where it says add new addresses, we'll look all the way over to the right. We're just going to go backwards. See if you guys see all these categories in here. These are called fields, and every field here is very specific to itself. So I know this seems a little elementary, but if you've never looked at something like this before, I just want to paint the picture so you understand the kind of data that you're collecting. So the title at the top, Mr., Mrs., Dr., Mr. and Mrs., you get to really write in there what you wish or leave it blank. So if it's a time hog and you don't really want to do that part, you just skip it. Then you have first name, last name, company name. You guys can read that going down. And then phone is at the bottom and email is at the bottom. You can leave those blank, or if you happen to know it, you can pop it right in there. So depending on if you're at a time crunch, you might not want to do those bottom pieces. But if you have them, you can put them in there. If you notice at the very bottom of the screen where it says save address and save and add another, this is a key piece you want to not forget, because once you enter your information in, if you forget to do the save address, it's not going to save, and you're like, shoot, and you've got to start over. So make sure you know that that is at the bottom. Now, let's go back out of that at the top left where it says back to address book, and the links that are at the top. So you see on the top right, add a new address. To the left of that, you don't have to click on it, Helen, but just point it out where it says export addresses. This would be down the road if you wanted to take all of these addresses and just send them out to have a spreadsheet. And it works seamlessly. It's like you'll be shocked. In fact, Helen, go ahead and click on it for just a second. We didn't practice this, but you should see we have 2 addresses in here. It will email it right to your address that's set up with your account, and you'll have a spreadsheet. It's amazing. Okay, back to address book here on the okay. So import addresses is what we're going to do to bring things in. Import means bring it in. So we're going to come back to that. And then to the left, Helen, again, oops. Hang on, go back one more sec. Let's finish the links. Yep, you don't have to click on it, but modify or add groups, context to a group. We're going to use that button to go in and change things around. And then to the left again would be if you're just creating a new group, adding a new group. Okay, so let's go to import addresses. So if you guys are taking notes, jot that down. You're going to start with address book, import addresses. It's very user-friendly to read this, but the top part, your goal is you're going to create a file called a CSV file, which means comma separated file. You don't have to know all that, but that's what CSV stands for. And those are those little extensions, like usually we have a documents that are like .doc or PDFs.pdf, JPEG.jpg. So this is going to end up being .csv. So that is what's going to tell Heritage Makers program how to bring your data information in. So it's why it's important to know that you have to have a CSV file. Now, if you look down the page a little bit more where it says Outlook format or Heritage Makers format, and you can learn more. It's a very user-friendly link there. You can read, and actually it scrolls down more if we don't have to look at it right now. But let's close that one, Helen, and go back and look at the Heritage Makers one. And we're going to do learn more here. Okay, so on your notes, after you have import, I want you to write Heritage Makers and then learn more. That's real important. Okay, so jot that down. Heritage Makers radio button, that little dot, and then learn more. And I'm gonna give you guys a chance to write that down. And when you get the pop-up box here, the key link is at the bottom of this. You can read all that stuff. It tells you what I probably just told you myself. But at the bottom where it says download a sample file, Helen, click there if you would. It's gonna pop up. Oops, did it download?
Yeah, and can you see on my screen that it downloaded?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys see it, but on the bottom left, well, as I'm looking at it, the bottom left, Helen's doing her the mouse over it right now. So click on that, Helen, and let's make it pop up so we can see what it looks like. That is not it.
Hang on, it's right here.
Okay, here we go. I'll tell you what, let's go back again and to the link.
Here it is, right here.
Okay, so you guys, this is when you click on that link, you're going to get this file. If you have your cell phone there and you just want to take a quick picture of this so you have it like in your photos just for the heck of it, that's what I do a lot of times when I'm like, I can't find that again. So I take it on my phone. Let me teach you about this for a second. And I'm sorry if it's elementary for those of you that have done import.
No, we love it. We love it. And this is being recorded and it'll be archived on our YouTube channel. So people can go back. Yeah.
All right. So see, this is a spreadsheet, and you know across the top you have the alphabet letters, and going down to the side you have numerals or numbers. So a lot of times we'll refer to the cells. These are all these little boxes in here. So A1, Helen, show us A1. So you see A at the top one, it says title. Okay, so title, T-I-T-L-E, lowercase. I mean, that is so important that we don't give it a capital T, that we don't say titles, plural. We want to keep it exactly as it is, because Heritage Makers has programmed this already, and it's only going to work if we have these specific words. So these are your fields. Remember when we opened up the address book and we saw the little fields? This is all of them. Title, then the one to the B.
I'm going to go right back and show them that again, okay? Because it might make sense now to see it that second time.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So let's go into add new address.
Now do you see, this is what she's talking about.
Last name. So these fields are all going to match up. And hang on one sec, there, freeze for a second, Helen, I'm going to count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now let's go back to our CSV thing. All right, so see where it says first name, just look in B1. I want you to notice, you're not going to have to write this, but if you were to have to rig it up a little bit, once you get into this, you're going to go, Kim told us how important this is your key line. So first, which is lowercase f, capital N, no space. If you put a space in there, it won't work. So it has to look exactly like this.
I think the bigger lesson to know this from Kim and I did is don't touch line 1. Don't touch it. Don't let yourself go in and auto-correct. Oh, that's not capitalized. Like I would try to like grammatically fix it. Don't do that. Just don't even touch line 1.
Exactly. And we can spread them out a little bit more so you can see the whole thing. Like C says last name, D is going to be company name. We can't quite see the whole name because the cell is not stretched out. Helen, you want to show them how to do that? Just for the heck of it, we're going to highlight column D. She's going to click on the D. It's going to go down. And right in between D and E, see where her little cursor is? She's going to double click that, and it should widen the cell to as large as the letters are in there. So if you had typed the word Constantinople or supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, that cell is going to open that far. It's kind of a good trick to know. This is true in any Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so you see if we go across, we have street and street 2, because a lot of addresses take 2, like you have an apartment number or a suite number. So it gives you 2 lines for your address, which is great. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. City, state, or province. Do not, if you're only putting states in and not provinces, don't mess with that. Just leave that alone. Postal code, don't change it to zip code. They call it postal code. Country, phone, and email. Okay, so this is the key piece. This is the magic that's going to make it happen. Okay, so okay, so
now we have my Excel sheet that I made.
Right. So you guys have an Excel spreadsheet with your addresses somehow that you have to create one somehow. Perhaps you have your addresses already in something maybe like, okay, I'm going to say your cell phone. I'm not going to take the time to show you how to get them out of your cell phone, but you can Google that, or there's apps that do it, and it will create a spreadsheet for you. And it's going to look maybe something like this, but it's certainly not going to have the same titles that the Heritage Makers ones have. that I just showed you. So your big mystery is, and that the part that you can do is to get all the data from your spreadsheet into that Heritage Makers spreadsheet under the right column. So you have lots of options, or two. I'll show you two. One will be, see where she has her first names like Santa, Sally, John, Jane. She's going to copy that all those names. So she's going to copy those, right click, copy, however you guys do it. Go open your other spreadsheet, your Heritage Makers one. Go to first name and paste. So you see what's happening? We're creating our Heritage Makers spreadsheet with the proper titles. Now I'm going to pause don't pause the recording, but I'm going to pause my brain for a moment and tell you guys, if this is the way you think, like let's go get the names and put them in the right columns, let's go back to our other one and bring them to the right spot, it will work beautifully. If you're the type that says, oh, why don't I just take these names that are already here, first name, whatever, and go backwards and put them over into my spreadsheet, you can do that, but they have to be perfect. It has to match. So the true way, the easiest way with less errors is to take your data and move it over to this spreadsheet. Is that making sense? You guys can nod.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so Helen, go ahead if you don't mind. Let's do all of these. So let's get last, and we can do, oh, wow, see, we're gonna get a little advanced. We're gonna take the whole chunk, so watch what she's gonna do. Now, if you guys have hundreds of addresses, do a column at a time. But we're gonna take them all over to the next.
So something was, there we go.
Okay, I know we had to click away. There we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna copy it.
Yep.
And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just
pick the top. You don't have, don't just put them all in one cell. Just do C3. Well, all right. That's right. You did it. That's okay. They'll space out. Perfect. Now, if you guys notice, we have a few things that aren't correct here. Like let's start with the zip codes to the right, the postal codes. Those are under city. So she needs to take those and move them to the right over under postal code. So we're just tidying up. We're getting everything in a likes with likes, like I like to say. So you get your states, you're going to put them there. Perfect. You need to be careful. Don't get them up or down one because you'll send somebody's card to the wrong state. However, it won't let you. But
Santa Claus needs his card delivered correctly.
Exactly.
And this is the real Santa Claus address. I looked it up.
You did?
Yeah. Now I have to do this right again because look, you guys, if this confuses you, remember what she said, double click here when your mouse goes from a single to a pointer that goes in two directions. Then I double click, right, Kim?
Yep. Sometimes you have to highlight the column. Perfect. You got it. Okay, good. So she's going to stretch them all out a little bit. So you guys see how that's looking? And this is actually going to be, if you look at the very bottom, Helen, go take your mouse down to the bottom, like down here to cell 37C, way down. I can see the title, HM underscore CSV format sample. Go straight down. Boom, straight, right there. You guys see that? Because we're making a CSV file. This is, and Heritage Makers has started for us, so we're going to be golden when we get all the information here. Okay, cool. So save that, Helen, and watch what happens. It's going to give you some scary stuff here. Do you want to keep this format? You're nervous, whatever. Just say yes, just for John. All right. For John. Remember, if it doesn't work, start over. But I think it's going to work fine. So now let's go back to our import section in Heritage Makers.
And I can close these.
So
We've saved them.
Yeah. Yep. And it gives you these little pop-ups. You just keep going on. And remember, we needed the name of the file, which was that HM something. Okay, so back to address book. Okay, we're going to go to import on the top line. There you go. Okay, now here we go. She's going to click on choose file. And now she has to go find that file that she just made. It started with HM underscore. There it is, right there. You guys with us? Okay, now this is where we're either going to hold our breath and say.
I saved it to my desktop to make sure I knew where it was easily. Just make sure you know where you saved it.
Right, correct. Okay, import. Let's see what happens. Okay, boom. 5 addresses successfully imported. 0 failed to import. Score, we did it. Woo! I mean, like voila. We'll open it up, and there they are. It's
Sweet!
just, I know. It's like such an accomplishment. It always feels so good. So
and
now
it's alphabetical, and it was not alphabetical before. And I know you guys might not have noticed that, but I did, and now it's alphabetical.
Oh, very good. All right. So just for the heck of it, let's go into one, Helen. Let's just look at Jane Brown. Jane Brown has her home. Let's edit her. And let's put Jane and Mark Brown. Okay, and then save. Down at the bottom. So when we come back, you have 2 Jane Browns in there, but we just changed one of them, and it went alphabetically because Jane Brown by herself should be first. Jane and Mark would be second.
But the reason we did that, we talked about this. How many of you guys send a holiday card to a spouse, right, to a couple, but then maybe you send a birthday card just to your girlfriend, Jane? So your choices are, go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, your choices are, you can create a contact for Jane and Mark together for the holiday card, and then a separate one. You go back and start all over again and do one just for Mr. or Mrs., Jane or Mark by themselves. Or if you, depending on how your brain works, when you get ready to send a card, you could sort of edit it right at the moment when you get ready to send one individual card and save it. Then remember, you got to go back and switch it back to Jane and Mark. So I just think it's easier to have 2, but that's up to how your brain works. You guys cool with that? Okay, yes. So now this is the beautiful part. This keeps continuously adding addresses in. Anytime you want, you can go to the top right again, Helen, scroll up here where it says add new, yep, and just add them and add them and add them. However you want, they're going to go in there alphabetically. So now let's just say you have 100 emails in addresses in here. Not emails, addresses. And you're getting ready to send, you have a combination of work emails and friends and family and all over the board, and you want to do a holiday card. So now we're going to create a group. So Helen, just hover over it a little bit. Did you guys see where it was? Let's go back so they can see where that is. Add a new group right there. There you go. Now let's go in. And let's do a holiday card. Let's just call it Christmas 2016. Is that okay, Helen? I did find out how to delete them if we want to later. Okay, so we're going to save the group. Okay, cool. So now let's just see, did you see where she has the drop down? So now you have all groups combined or Christmas card. So
let's create another group now too, okay?
Let's call a group called, what do you want to call it? Bunko. Okay, good. And you guys, I kind of looked through mine to see, how I've made groups in the past. And like I have team members in one, and I have relatives in one, all relatives. I have Etzel family is a separate one. I have one called Fix Me, which is like you get a card back and you're like, uh-oh, that address is incorrect, but I don't have time to figure it out. But I want to make sure I know that it's broken. And I just put them in that group. And then I have extra time or it gets fixed, I go in and fix it up and take them out of the group. Okay, so we have lots of groups here. Good with that? All right. So now we're going to add some people to a group. So let's do modify or add contacts to a group. And let's pick our Christmas one. So go down below. Yep, edit and add. So let's add 3 or 4 people to that group. Let's add, Santa Claus, and let's add Sally Smith. Okay, now got to hit the save up top. Save group. Okay, now let's go back to address book, and let's go to I want to open up Santa Claus. Let's open his up. Let's come over here to edit. Go. Yep. And scroll to the bottom, and I want y'all to see this now. It's going to start showing up. See our little groups that we've added, and he's in the Christmas card group. It's a great way for you to double check or take him out or put him in. Now, a little side note, at the moment, the best way to add them to groups is the way Helen and I just showed you how to do it. You could go into a contact, like right here, we could add him to the Bunko group, put Santa in the Bunko group, and do save. But there's a little snag here and it's not saving that way. So my best tip to you guys is do it from the main screen, and I'll go back to that, Helen will show you, where it's modify or add contacts to a group. Just let that be your pathway that you use all the time, and it works seamlessly. It's great. Okay, so you're cool. As far as having all your addresses in here. Helen, can you see the questions if there are any? I don't know if you guys are
Yeah, so
asking.
we did actually, that's great. We did actually get a question, and so you guys can see exactly how these are coming up and where you can edit all of that. And I just think, I don't know how many of you guys are like, whoa, you know, like hallelujah choirs are going off, right? So we did get a question, and that was, can we direct ship to another country? And I don't think so, because the only postage available on direct ship is a US stamp, a forever stamp. So it's not for an odd size, which is why 5x5 cards cannot go. And it would not be out of country, which would have to go by US air mail, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to do out of country to you, and then they have to go to the post office for additional postage.
Yeah, exactly. So let's show them how to send Debbie has her hand up.
Yeah.
If that out of country though is an APO address.
Oh yeah.
It can be.
Yeah, but APOs are not really out of country. That's a US address.
Right.
It's just getting to the US address for the military, and then it's going from there. But so that has a US, like usually like New York or Washington DC with a zip code. So it's really going in country. Does that make sense? But an actual out of country, if your address is New Zealand, my daughter lived in Australia for a year, that's out of country. I have to go to the post office to mail it to her. So, but good tip, Debbie. Yes, you're right. That APO.
Yep.
So now let's say I finished my Christmas card, right?
Yeah.
And it's here in view completed because I've got it done.
Right. Correct. So are you guys with us here? We picked our card. You made your card. It's gone into your view completed. Now, look, you've got a new little green box that you might not have ever seen before.
I'm showing him my pretty card.
All right.
Because you can look at it one more time. Here's the front and the back of my card.
Oh, Helen, you have new children.
And my name has changed to Stevens. We always take well-coordinated pictures where everybody's smiling and laughing together.
There you go.
Yeah, that's us.
All right, so you guys see this little green box? Keep hovering so everybody can see it. Instead of just add to cart, now you can direct ship this, and that will stay. This is your little magic button. So two things can happen here. You might think you want to add 5 cards to ship to your house in case you forgot Aunt Mary or Susie Q or whatever. You can always go back and add her one at a time. But if you're in a time crunch and you want them right in your hands at that moment, send some cards to yourself and then direct ship the rest. You can do both. Okay, so you'll get all your options as you're used to with your cards. You can pick your finishes, pick your corners, and all that sort of stuff. So direct ship this card right here. And she's going to pick her Christmas card group.
Now, you actually don't have to select all. This is a place for you to ditch people.
Yeah.
And we're even going to show you how to add more in. So Sally's getting cut from the list this year. I don't have a new address for her. I know she moved. I've got to find out, and I've got to get these shipped now. So I'm going to go ahead and direct ship them to everybody else, and then I'm going to make myself the little note that I got to send Sally a Facebook message or something and get her new address. And that's why I have those other 5 cards in my cart, so that they're already on my way here. And as soon as they come and I get my new address from Sally, I can mail it right from my house, and then I can go in and update it. So I'm just going to send this card directly to Santa. And like Kim said, here's where I get to pick my, where I want it to come from, right, Kim? So why don't you go through that?
Yeah. So choose this address for your, it's already preset, or if you want to do something creative, you can make it be different. So let's put in first name. Let's put Helen. Okay, now remember, first name and last name on your return address are going to come out on the same line. This program knows to take one and take the other and put them together. They're not going to go first name here and last name here. So Helen and Frank and the kids on the first one. Now, the reason that's not, what we're going to put there, Helen? I think I would take off "and the kids," and you could put that on the, you could put Helen and Frank, and then under last name, put "and the kids." It's all going to come on one line. This is getting a little creative here. But you can then put on address 1, hey, note new address 2016 if you've 2016 if you've moved. You can say, "Hey, Merry Christmas," or hope you've been, not nice, not naughty. You can put something funny if you want. So because you have all these options. Okay, address 2 would be your true address where you live. 123 Anywhere Street. Yep. Merry Christmas. Now, yep. Now city, and we're going to show you a trick here. So she's picking Gainesville, Virginia, and put your wrong zip code in there, Helen. Make a boo-boo. I wonder if we'll see if this happens, if it'll work. Save and continue. It should come up. Oh, required field. Oh, you do have to put your phone.
Oh, okay. I know my phone number. It's 888 YGY Club, and that is our toll-free number.
Okay, go back and put your zip code correctly, just for the heck. I'll
wait. I want to see if it. I want to see if it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It catches it. Okay. You have to scroll down to save at the bottom, I think.
I know, and it's not letting me.
Are you stuck?
I'm stuck.
You just choose your auto.
I'm trying to get unstuck. Okay, let's go to our cart and show them. We'll come back to that other part because we want to show them how to send that other special card from somebody, right?
The one from Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this would be kind of fun. You guys could pick a card.
Oh, wait. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're going to come to that in 1 second. So here's the 5 are coming to my house, right?
Okay. Oh, this one. Okay. So the 5 that are coming to your house, so you add those to your cart. Okay. Oh, this is your cart, right?
Yeah.
Cart. Okay. You can see where she's hovering over modify recipients. You can click there. You kind of get another chance to take a look at who you've selected. So you could add some more if you want.
So I can say, oh, you know what? I forgot my friend over in my other group. I want to send her a card this year. It did not put her in the group, you guys. Okay? All it did was add her to this list. Okay? It did not take that girl and put her in the group. It just added her to the list. Okay?
Yes. And you could pick her in the regular group, but I don't think it would add it either way. This will be pretty user friendly once you guys get going through this. You can pick your default or you can make a new one, and then you're going to proceed to checkout. And okay, so pick your default. Save and continue. Okay, so, and we can go back if you don't really want to show this part, but what's good here is, see where when you guys play around with this at home on your own computer, it'll say if you want to use points, you can use your points for this. The only piece you cannot use your points for is the postage. So you will need a credit card. You have to buy that as you're going through, and it'll tell you how much that's going to be. And there is a service charge of 30 cents per card to send. So ahead of time, you should know that if that's in your budget and you want to do that. Otherwise, you can mail them to your house and hand address them. But for 30 cents, they're done per card. It does add up, but it's finished. And your return address is on there, so if they don't get sent, they'll come back to your house if you have a mistake. Okay, Helen, I want to show one more quick thing. Can we go back to the address book?
Yes. Hang on, I have to come back to our naughty or nice card. Okay.
Okay.
Photo card. So hang on. Let me just save this.
Okay.
Okay. So address book.
Okay. Address. Let's add a new to top right. Add a new address. Okay. So let's put Kim Smith.
What am I putting?
Put her Smith. And we're just making up somebody, but I'm going to get her city and street. Just put 123 Anywhere. Whatever. That's good. And okay, so for the city, let's put Naples. And the postal code, let's put 34302, which is incorrect. Okay, so let's go get ready to save. And it's going to say enter valid code. It will pop up, which is brilliant. and you're like, oh, I don't know the right code. Now what do I do? I'm stuck. I can't save her contact. So this is just the Kimetzel version of doing it. We don't have to go there, Helen, but I usually open up another tab and I just go to Google and I type in zip code for, and I put the address in the city and it comes up. So zip code for Naples, Florida. And I actually have to put 123 Anywhere Street, which isn't a real address. We made it up. But it will tell you exactly. You see down here, you're going to get lots of zip codes. But if you actually put the address in, the true address that you have of someone, you'll get the true zip code. So that's how I use what
And
I
does this work? Find it using the white pages?
I have never
Put the
used that.
address in here as well. So how cool is that?
You know what? I didn't even see that when I did mine before. So thank you for teaching.
And if you can't find it, just add Kim Smith's card to those couple you're getting to your house so you can hand address it. That way you're not delaying or missing out on the sale that ends tomorrow. You're taking care of everybody else, and you've just got some coming to your house that you'll just hand address those couple.
Exactly.
But okay, perfect. So who's got questions about the address book? We covered a lot, you guys. Importing the address, exporting the address, updating it, how to put people in groups, how to direct ship, any of those things. No questions? Okay, perfect. Well, we have one more thing that we want to share with you. And I'm going to go down here to my favorites, which was where I put that little naughty or nice card. And this is just a little 4x8 card that we thought would be kind of fun for any of you that have children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews or fur babies on your list, and you want to send them a little card that says, hey, you better watch out. You better be, you better not pout. You better not cry because Santa Claus is watching. Cut out this circle and put it on a bottleneck, or you could hang it on the doorknob, right? And anyway, you can modify this card however you want to, but when you're ready to publish it, look at what a fun thing this could be. Now, you could do it for any card, but we thought it would be especially cute to do it with a holiday card, because we're going to pick that address. We're going to pretend that Jane is your niece or your granddaughter. But on the from section, it's going to be from Santa Claus. And his address was, oh my gosh, what is, here you go. What is Santa Claus real address? Okay, and then you can scroll down here and you can find his real address at the North Pole. That's what I did because I entered it in there. Here, 101 St. Nicholas Drive, North Pole, Alaska. So we're going to go back over here because that's not really, right? St. Nicholas Drive, North Pole. Now, maybe your little one won't be smart enough to recognize the postal code of Utah instead of Alaska.
And remember, the good news is this is the return address, and it didn't catch it. It didn't snag it, so it should be fine. It should work.
It should be fine. Save and continue. And so this letter is actually, the phone number is required. So let's just put in our phone number. This is where it got kind of, I don't know why it's.
Maybe, you know what, it might not go because it has letters in there, the YGY Club.
Oh, okay. So what is YGY on your phone? Can someone look at their phone and tell me what YGY CLUB is?
Oh, I don't have a.
Yeah, you do. Go to your. It's on the here. 94985 949. I'm sorry. What?
Oh, I didn't look.
CLUB. There you go. Save changes to stored address. Okay, but we know this works because we tested. Please address the errors below.
Maybe you can't.
Required field. 94.
Just put your house. Or here, put mine. 239.
No. My phone number's out there.
Okay. There you go. Kind of good that it catches those things, I think.
You guys, I think it's super cute that this card is coming from Santa Claus. Am I the only person that think that's so cute that we thought of this idea? I thought that was super cute. Look, Vicky's excited. She wants to send her grandsons. Yes, right? Debbie's excited. You guys want to go send your grandchildren, your nieces, a little Christmas card from Santa saying, look, you better get together. There's a couple more weeks and we're still watching you.
You can practice and send one to yourself.
Oh,
Make
I'm
sure-
sending it to my children.
Make sure you change that. Don't have it say your name at the bottom. You know, it says the Andersons or something.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Of course.
That card.
Exactly. And you all, in your own address book, I would add your very own address. And when you're sending your cards, maybe send one to yourself. I like to do that because then I know the day I get it, like people are receiving it, or I look at it and pray, like, did I create this right? You know. But
I'm gonna scrapbook that.
anyway,
Good idea.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah,
Well, I'm gonna stop the recording. So hang on 1 second.